Hello, and welcome to my channel, where I mostly share my love of fragrance and enjoying my collection. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Inspire Love Rose and Vanilla collection from Bath & Body Works. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let's get started. I wanted to try the new Inspire Love Rose and Vanilla line that Bath & Body Works released in time for Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, this collection seems to only be available online, but I was able to place an order when they had free shipping one day. There was a previous Love, Rose, and Vanilla collection in the Aromatherapy line, but I never tried that, so I can't speak to whether this new line is exactly the same. First off, I think that the packaging on this line is quite pretty. It's blush pink with white caps on the body care, and it feels soft and romantic. The collection is part of Bath & Body Works' Aromatherapy line and comes in the traditional packaging for those products. I picked up several pieces in the collection, including the moisturizing body lotion with shea butter and vitamin E, the essential oil mist with vitamin E and aloe, and the single wick candle with natural essential oils. The collection also has a body cream and a body wash, but I didn't pick either of those up at this time. I'll start with the fragrance mist, but all of the products in this line have the same notes, which are rose essential oil and vanilla absolute, and the scent is described as smelling like a sweet, smooth floral, created to inspire all the love. This is an essential oil mist, and you can see it comes in the aromatherapy style packaging instead of the regular body mist bottle, which personally I would prefer. The bottle is plastic and it's 5.3 ounces. And upon first spray, this has the smell of fresh cut roses, along with some greenery. It's very much a straight floral at this point, and it's definitely for people who like the smell of roses, as it is pretty strong. After a few minutes, the rose begins to soften, and the vanilla starts to come in. And the vanilla is fresh and sweet. It's not really sugary or syrupy, it just smells like a soft, sweet vanilla mingling with the rose. And over time, the rose starts to feel lighter and more like rose water, and the vanilla becomes the more prominent note. But I can always pick up on the rose in the fragrance. I like how the vanilla smells at this point. It almost has a sugary feel, and it gives the scent a good amount of sweetness. I think that this is a beautiful scent, but if you don't like rose, you're probably not going to like this. And while this does dry down sweet, it's not a super sweet or gourmand scent. And the mist does start out pretty strong, but I find it's softer in the dry down, so I think layering with the lotion or cream would be a good idea to strengthen and prolong the scent. And as far as the aromatherapy, I don't really use these mists for that purpose, I just like to have the nice fragrance. You can use the mist on your body, or add the mist to your shower to create a spa-like aroma, or spray it on your pillow or linens. I do think some of the scents in the aromatherapy line can smell relaxing, but I don't specifically buy it for that purpose. Next up is the moisturizing body lotion, which comes in the taller glass pump bottle. This is again very rose heavy at first, only a bit less green. The vanilla is noticeable right away, and the scent overall is creamy and sweet. And the lotion feels like it stays more rose than vanilla, and I would say it's more fresh and less sweet than the mist. When I layer the lotion and the mist, I get a really beautiful mix of fresh rose and creamy vanilla. I feel like it's a bit less sweet than the mist alone, because the lotion adds more creaminess and a bit more of that fresh rose. I wanted to share a few quick comparisons for the fragrance, and first up is Bath & Body Works Whipped Rose and Vanilla, which was recently released for the semi-annual sale. This has notes of crushed rose petals, cocoa flour, and whipped foam, so there is an added cocoa note in this scent. Whipped Rose and Vanilla smells like an airy vanilla cream, with a hint of coffee and a soft underlying rose. So while they both open with a strong scent of fresh rose petals and dry down with a more prominent vanilla note, I find that Whipped Rose and Vanilla is sweeter and more creamy than Rose and Vanilla. And it also has a bit of that latte-like feel in the dry down. I also wanted to compare Rose and Vanilla with Bath & Body Works Wrapped in Vanilla, which has notes of soft vanilla, velvet sugar, and chantilly creme. Obviously, there's a major difference as there is no rose in this scent, but Wrapped in Vanilla is a sugary gourmand scent that smells like vanilla frosting. However, when rose and vanilla dries down, I get a similar feeling from the vanilla that I get in the dry down of wrapped in vanilla. Wrapped in vanilla is much sweeter and creamier than rose and vanilla, and while it doesn't have the soft rose that rose and vanilla has, there is a reason that I wanted to compare these, which I'll get to shortly. Next, I have the Rose Gourmand perfume from Zara. This has notes of rose, amber, and vanilla, and is similar to Mancera's Roses Vanille. Obviously, there's some difference with the added amber in the scent, but I wanted to share a perfume with similar notes that you could maybe opt for if you want a rose and vanilla combination. Rose Gourmand is a lot stronger and more perfumey than rose and vanilla, and the rose also stays more prominent in the perfume, but it does also still have quite a strong vanilla sweetness to it. If you don't want to pick up rose and vanilla, you could get a similar scent by layering a rose fragrance with a vanilla one. For my collection, I would pair Jo Malone's Red Roses with Bath & Body Works Wrapped in Vanilla to get a similar feel. The fresh, realistic rose of Red Roses combines nicely with the sugary vanilla of Wrapped in Vanilla, and both of these scents are stronger than rose and vanilla. Lastly, I have the single wick rose and vanilla candle, and I didn't see that a 3-wick candle was available. This comes in the standard mason jar packaging and was $15.95. Which I think is too much for a single wick candle, so I used a reward for it. On cold, this smells very much like a heavy rose with some greenness to it. And there's a tiny hint of vanilla, but it doesn't really smell sweet. And when burned, for the first half hour or so, the rose is quite dominant, and it smells realistic and green like fresh cut roses. Over time, though, the scent does sweeten like the body care, but not quite as much. The rose also softens, but it does stay very present, and the pretty rose and sweet vanilla combine to make a very pleasant scent. I found I got a nice throw from the candle in my filming room, which is basically a small bedroom, and I think it performed decently for a single wick, which always seemed to have a bit of tunneling, but this one didn't have too much. I'm not a candle expert though, so take that how you will. In my collection, this candle most reminds me of Pink Petal Tea Cake, which has notes of pink rose petals, pound cake, and vanilla glaze. But that candle is much sweeter than rose and vanilla. They both have a pretty, fresh rose scent, but the vanilla sweetness in rose and vanilla isn't close to the more gourmand, sugary vanilla in Pink Petal Tea Cake. Personally, I prefer Pink Petal Tea Cake, but I think that rose and vanilla is nice as well, especially when I want something that's more floral. Overall, I think that rose and vanilla is a beautiful scent, and I do recommend the Inspire Love collection, but you probably need to really like rose to enjoy it. I think that it's a nice combination of fresh rose and sweet vanilla, and I don't think I have any exact dupes of this scent in my collection. I plan to pick up some backups of the mist and lotion when there's a good body care sale, as this will probably rotate out again at some point. Let me know what you think of this scent and if you're going to give it a try. Thank you for watching. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.